We talked about the implications and the impact of gambling in the sports world, right? When you have all of this money being filtered through sports and all of these leagues being able to benefit from gambling, you're damn right. Players at some point are going to start taking the risk, especially because they are the ones who are really in control of outcomes.
The U.S. District Attorney's Office is investigating Malik Beasley on allegations of gambling related to NBA games and prop bets during the 2023-24 season. Now, Beasley and the Pistons were in contract negotiations to keep him in Detroit. Of course, that is now all on hold. Beasley's agent told ESPN's Shams Charania that an investigation is not a charge. He's afforded the same right of the presumption of innocence as anyone else under the United States Constitution. Now, as of right now, he has not been charged with anything. Rodney, what did you make of these allegations against Malik Beasley?
Listen, we talked last year about gambling and sports and the potential implications of what this could mean for athletes, right? It kind of started with Jonte Porter. It even happened with...
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. You know, like we talked about the implications and the impact of gambling in the sports world, right? When you have all of this money being filtered through sports and all of these leagues being able to benefit from gambling, you're damn right. Players at some point are going to start taking the risk, especially because they are the ones who are really in control of outcomes. I do not know if Malik Beasley did this or not. I remember that 23-24 season. Are we sure it's the 23-24 season, not this past season? Because this past season he played the best basketball damn near of his career.
Right, it was the Bucks season.
Okay, which, you know, coming off of that Lakers season that he had, which was terrible as a Lakers fan, we wanted him out of LA so bad. Maybe, you know, he had a really, really bad season with the Lakers. That Milwaukee season, he played a lot better, but he may have felt like he was on the fringe of no longer being in the NBA and was just trying to stack a little extra coin. But this would be just an unnecessary risk when you are making millions of dollars to shoot a basketball through a cylinder. I don't know why you would risk it.
Yeah, and it seems like this may now be kind of the end because, like I just mentioned, the Pistons are now holding off this negotiation. I think they're trying to maybe get Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Which is a better fit, by the way, which is a way better basketball fit, in my opinion.
Right. And like you just mentioned, he was coming off a really, really good season in Detroit. I would say that was probably the most impactful season that he's had in his career. They were trying to run it back, at least get to the playoffs or go further. So I don't know why he would have done that. I guess if he did do it in Milwaukee, then that, you know, is kind of null and void. But I guess we need to now talk about, does the NBA have a gambling problem? Or does any sports?
Sports. I think sports. There's a gambling problem in sports. There's a gambling problem in America. Like the way that fans interact with players now is indicative of that culture, right? Like people saying, wow, it's not even, what's up, man? I'm a fan of your game. It's like, hit my parlay. Make sure I hit my parlay.
Exactly.
Man, parlay, dog. Like, there's way too comfortability built around gambling and what it all implies and implicates for fans. Because for a lot of people, this is additional income and how they sustain themselves. Like, it's not even just like a fun, joyful, jovial thing. Like, there are some implications and some statistics that say that people are now using sports bets and prop gambling to increase their income more than they are playing the stock market. That's this level of investment for a lot of fans out there. Yeah, like people aren't even doing long-term plays in the stock market. They are instead doing prop bets in sports gambling. That's where we are. So yeah, for sure we have a gambling issue, and this has, it's always been a dark cloud around gambling because of the criminal underworld and element that existed around gambling, right? Before it was legalized and popularized like it is, there were, they said that the mob controlled gambling. And so obviously that came with a different level of violence and corruption. Mm-hmm. But now that it's normalized, now that it's legalized, how can we expect people who are driving so much revenue out there in the world to not want to take part in it, at least to a degree? How?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Is because, like you just mentioned, we as a society, we have a problem. And that doesn't skip over the players themselves.
They're human beings.
Right. We keep seeing it. And we know that the NBA has a very strict policy on that. I mean, they got the feds investigating.
Yeah.
this.
I mean,
So
the counter argument to that is, yo, you're making millions of dollars. Like, just chill out, just relax. But
right.
these also, and this is, we all know, great all-time players of all sports. I'll say Michael Jordan specifically. We all know his desire to be competitive. And gambling for a lot of people is the ultimate level of competition, especially when I'm able to dictate the outcome.
We
So,
just saw Adrian Peterson fighting at a poker table. Like,
these athletes are wired differently. They're really wired. Like, they're so competitive. I'm going on the 4th of July, Tobias Harris. I'm going to his house to celebrate 4th of July, right? Like, I know there's going to be some level of competition. Nothing negative, of course, but it's just like, who eats their hamburger fat, that's just what they do. They're constantly in a state of competition.
Right.
And when your livelihood and your likeness, your lifestyle sustainability is built upon being better than somebody else, out competing somebody else, can create a desire to risk it all, or take risks, calculated risks.
But see, you gotta take the risk. You gotta take the risk in a way that's not going to jeopardize your career. So if gambling is an issue for you, then go to the casino, go to the slot machines, play blackjack. Don't bet
slot
on
machines
yourself.
Is crazy.
Don't bet on yourself in a game. See, that's where the integrity now is getting shaky, because people got the clips of Malik just looking like, during the game, like, sir, come on.
He did have a fast break layup under 7 seconds in the game that didn't matter, that covered the spread. I don't know. He could have just wanted one more bucket.
Or he wasn't playing defense at all. Like, he just stood there like,
But that's when it gets messed up, because you gonna have some blonde moments over the course of an 82 game season. And so to highlight like 5 or 6 individual plays from an 82 game season to make it seem like these are the moments in which I was gambling or betting on myself.
If it comes out that
crazy.
Those were the games, allegedly.
If it comes out, but I think the players should be allowed to take the overs on themselves. The unders, nah, because that has the potential to corrupt the game. But the overs, if you say I'm only going to hit 5 threes in a game, I want to go out there and prove 8 because I'm mad that you think that I can't.
No, because now you're doing too much.
Hey, man,
right. Now you're doing too much, and people are going to be very upset with the game if they say they were betting on the over, they don't get it. Now they probably mad, they done lost money, they fighting. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just gonna add a level of violence.
Hey, can we talk real quick? Can we just hypothesize, if you were to do this, right? If you were to be gambling and you knew it was illegal, how would you avoid getting caught? Because there's some things in my head that I would do, because they just seem a little dumb the way they're going about it.
Right.
I got some tricks.
You really gotta go. It has to be like multiple people over. Like, it's nobody in proximity to you. It gotta be somebody like over there, way over there, like your cousin's best friend's cousin.
Yo, like, I don't like.
But then are you gonna get all your money back? Because there's too many people touching. Just don't do it.
And Malik Beasley, if he did this, he is going to lose out on a lot of money. He was on the cusp of signing a damn near $30 million deal. I don't know what his parlays were.
I think it was 42. I think it was 3 year, $42 million deal.
Okay, I thought it was 32. Regardless, and to be honest, this helps Detroit out, because there's no way he was going to live up to that contract. He is a guy who has a good year, he has a bad year, good year, bad year, and if they get Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think they come out the winners in this, because that's an elite wing defender, somebody who can help you next year in the Eastern Conference, because he does play phenomenal defense, and he's a really, really solid three-point shooter as well. And Detroit has a chance to really make a deep run next year, considering all things Eastern Conference, So it's wide open, and
they'll
that
get
kind of
Jaden
signing,
Ivey
I think,
back from injury.
Yeah, they're in a great spot. But you all let me know your thoughts on Malik Beasley being investigated by the feds for potentially gambling on the NBA and in his own games. Just not smart. We want to hear your thoughts. Is it a tough thing for athletes to not want to participate in the thing that's generating so much money around them? Let us know in the comments section.